How is this vision coming along? Started as a cash advance company. How did you build this super app, right?
Without you having to take any extra step. You go do what you're good at. We will ensure that your money is appreciating, not depreciating. I grew up in a time where even to pursue information, it costed money. So if you didn't have money, that means you would naturally fall behind.
So with me, I have founder and CEO of BEEM, Akshay. Akshay, how has the event been so far for you?
Very productive. My favorite event of the year, every year. And this year has been no different. Extremely productive.
What would help us to a little bit understand, Akshay, about your background? How did you come up with BEEM? What was the gap you saw, the vision, and what do you aspire in 2026? And what journey will you take in the next few years? I would love to learn a bit about that.
Sure. My life sort of changed in 1999. I grew up in India. I grew up poor in India, and I grew up in a time, an era where even to pursue information, to educate yourself, to get a little bit more information on anything that you were seeking, it costed money. So if you didn't have money, that means you would naturally fall behind because even information was not accessible, right? And the internet changed it. It leveled the playing field. Now me and anyone else with money, almost like the cost of internet was so low that anyone with money also would probably have the same amount of information. And if I'm more motivated, I could probably get more information than that person. It genuinely leveled the playing field for people like me. But it didn't do it financially. And as someone who has sort of, you can call it PTSD, growing up, having, we were smart people, hardworking people, but we were still poor, and trying to identify why inequality existed, especially financially, that's been the driving force in my life, right? I wanted to figure that out. And that is what drove me to PayPal, spent 5 years there. I was fortunate enough to meet great mentors and educate myself about the fintech ecosystem. And then whatever I learned there, I felt I had enough to further double click on this, what is causing inequality. And after using that as a driving force to start BEEM, and having spent 5 years now, what I have realized is inequality is not a function of how much money someone has or how much someone is earning or how expensive something else is. I think it's a function of just one thing. Most people are earning in cash. Cash is a depreciating asset, and that is why always everything feels like an arm's distance away, because what is happening is you're working very hard, you're trying to set some money aside to meet certain goal of yours.
Of course.
Bike for your child, house for your family, healthcare for your aging parents, and by the time you get to that point, it always feels that whatever you have is insufficient. And it's not insufficient because you have less money or you're not hardworking. It's because the world has been designed in a way where everything that you're getting, for most people, it's in cash, and cash is a depreciating asset. So whatever you have saved, whatever hard work, hard-earned money was there, it has gone down, right? And that is the fundamental problem. And if I can contribute to leveling the playing field financially, I have to fix that. And that is what we are doing at BEEM. What we have created is a unified managed account where you can earn, save, and spend in any asset, specifically appreciating asset. So if you're a Uber driver or you're a nurse, you can get your paycheck and immediately you can convert it into a money market fund, part of it into treasury bills, part of it into an ETF, part of it into an index fund, into some other currency, whatever you want to, and it'll keep appreciating, and we'll give you a card, and if you ever need liquidity, you want to go buy coffee, pay rent, we will take care of it without you having to think about the complexities of this. So that's the story of BEEM and what we are doing.
So from what I hear, the sections of the society which were ignored or when they needed help, you not only give them help at the time they want. One thing I know is you have instant decision making. You give them an answer then and there. But the other part is later it's not about that one-time help. Then you have other financial tools which will then allow them to invest in appreciating assets. So today when we see the market, there are a lot of cash advance apps. So they would give $500, $200, but that's one-time help. That does not help a Uber driver, for example, or someone who is trying to make their life. But you help them actually also invest in funds like money market, right? So how is this vision coming along? Because most people always thought that, hey, BEEM started as a cash advance company, that's where they are. How did you build this super app, right? How and what all things are you going to do in 2026? Because that would also help educate customers that this is how they should think about BEEM and this is how they should associate with BEEM, right?
So first and foremost, with our current application and the future state of it, you don't have to invest. You don't even need to know about investing. You go do what you're good at or what you're capable of, and we will ensure that your money is appreciating, not depreciating, built into the system without you having to take any extra step. You know how to use a card,
of course.
You know how to direct deposit, that's all you need to know. There's nothing, you don't need to change anything. It will automatically get taken care of. That's what we have built, that's what we'll continue to scale. Now, it is a common misunderstanding that we are a cash advance company. We are not a cash advance company. We are a asset tokenization company. What we do is we tokenize all of your assets, okay? And then against those assets, we will give you liquidity whenever you need it, depending on your risk profile, okay? We started with cash-based assets in 2021, which is money in your bank account, any recurring deposits that you may have, any recurring deposit, doesn't have to be wages, your government benefits or anything like that, and wages also. So these are the 4 types of cash-based assets that we were tokenizing. Since 2021, we have tokenized over $1 billion of assets. We have provided liquidity close to $300 million when you needed it. And we are just, what we are doing is, there is a settlement lag for your funds. We're just eliminating that gap using this technology and using AI. Okay, so our AI is able to compute, understand what help you need, how much you need, and how much of the tokenized assets we can provide in liquid format, which we do. And everything we tell you upfront, what we can do, how we can do, and how much we can do. Then if you choose it, we will deliver it to you. And then it's able to accurately understand when the reconciliation will happen. Now we are taking the same technology, we built the foundation for this. We built risk, compliance, fraud detection, tokenization, and all the AI that needs to go into it. We built it over the last 5 years and battle tested it. Now on this foundation, we are scaling. On the asset side, we are scaling from cash-based assets to more assets. So by the end of 2026, we'll probably add another 4 or 5 assets: stocks, bonds, ETFs, treasury bills, G20 currencies. And on the number of users, we'll continue to scale the users, and we'll continue to help them more. And then we'll issue a card which you can use against those assets. And if you ever want to do it in a different format, so let's say you are someone earning $60,000 per year, and you had 20% in money market funds, 20% in stocks, 20% in bonds, 20% in crypto, as an example. But you want to pay rent to your landlord, and your landlord prefers physical check. We can do that also. We can convert it into any format. That's what we have built over these last few years. And so we are helping you do what you do, but putting automatically, without you taking any additional steps, putting you on a path of positivity. Because most people in the US, by the time they retire, give or take, they're negative $900,000 as of today.
Oh wow.
With BEEM, if you started your life with BEEM, by the time you retire, you'll be positive $2 million. And you can give or take appreciate anywhere between 5 to 7% per year. That means whatever money you earn, add 5-7% to it. It is truly capable. We have back tested it multiple times, and that's what we're bringing to the table. We are going to scale the number of assets, we're going to issue card, and then we're going to scale the number of users. We have built the distribution channels. We have bank-based channels where we could get up to 8 million fair credit customers per month. We have signed partnerships with NBC and Roku to get in front of all streaming channel audiences as well as connected TV audiences. And then we are working with radio partners to get into front of radio audiences. So we have distribution, we have the infrastructure, we have the technology. Now all we have to do is scale, and that's what we are doing for 2026.
And that takes me to 2 things, right? One is, what is the growth that BEEM is seeing, right? Last time when we spoke a year back, you already had over million users, right? Now as you scale, one is, what are the growth you are seeing? And every company is in a hurry to be an AI company, because everyone wants to call themselves an AI company, but you are actually putting AI at work. The way you underwrite, your risk models, your verification models. Can you throw some light on that? How do you use AI to make your risk and underwriting models better? And how actually that also helps your customers? Because you are able to give them quick decisions, right? If they go to a legacy provider, legacy institution, they might have to like even wait a week to get a decision. So can you throw some light on that?
So first and foremost, this goes back to the story of
Yeah.
flattening the playing field,
Of course.
leveling the playing field for most people. So from that standpoint, the day we started the company, that was the goal. And if we had, so that means we had to build a product that everyone can use and everyone can benefit. The minute you write a charter like that
I
for
think
yourself,
you were using AI even before this AI became a buzzword,
100%,
right?
because that, not because we wanted to be fancy or we are some great technologists, that was the only way we could work. We could build something that could work for the most number of people.
Yep.
We have helped homeless people, we have helped gig workers, we have helped seasonal workers, we have helped retired workers, right? We have helped disabled people, right? We have helped so many different varieties.
And there is an interesting story behind it. To experience their life, you have lived their life, right? For a few months, yes?
Yes,
right?
I spent over a year as an Uber driver. That helped me really, like, I call it method entrepreneurship, like method acting. So you actually live with the customers that you want to serve, as them, with them, and making financial decisions
that
them.
brings empathy to your AI, to be honest. So tell me a bit about the growth that you are seeing, right? I know BEEM has been, it's a secret fintech, I would say. A lot of fintech invest in branding. You guys are getting growth despite being very frugal at the way you market. So please throw some light on that, how you have been growing.
Quite honestly, even I don't know. We have grown up to 5 million customers, and surprisingly, even our makeup is very different from a typical fintech. Typical fintech is mostly skewed towards male audiences. 60% of our users are women.
Oh, wow.
Working women. Most of our users are either are about to become parents or just became parents. So we have a unique population which we have reached without any marketing. And I think some of the experiences, the lived in experiences, played some role in it, in all the decisions, whether it's using a certain image on our website or on our blog, writing a particular blog post, optimizing our experience in a specific way, has come from that lived in experience. And I can't put a finger on it, but I think sum total of all of that has put us on this path of growth, and we've been growing 100% year over year without marketing. And I can't tell you that we have some secret sauce. It's just that we plan to do what we plan to do. We have a very clear mission. We want to eliminate financial inequity and inequality, and we are just working very hard to make that happen in small ways that we know how to.
And I think 6 months back when we were talking, you also were, one thing you mentioned was that you don't want to restrict your mission or the vision of the company to United States, right? You're already thinking about global expansion plans, right? Canada, Mexico, India, correct?
Cash is depreciating everywhere, and most people even today are earning in cash. If we don't eliminate this, it is going to get only worse over time, right? And as you can clearly see, even with the advent of technology, like India is a mobile first country, but inequality hasn't gone down, it has only gone up, right? And like, this is my life's work, and I don't want to stop, and I don't think so we can stop in one country. Yes, we have done something meaningful here in the US, which we will continue to scale, but we absolutely want to take this. First of all, we built it in a way where it can scale to different countries, and we have found partners like Signsy that can get us live and going and doing this in different countries.
No, and we are fortunate to partner with you. One thing is, as you onboard 5 million customers, and every month you are seeing that kind of growth. One thing that also worries fintech is no one is a bad customer, to be honest, but reality is there are bad actors who might want to game the system. So how do you sort of prevent fraud on your platform? And the second part is, how do you because you mentioned AI, right? So now AI goes beyond fraud. Throw some light on your underwriting. Why would you be better than a traditional underwriting or risk models that a traditional bank would have, right? One thing is that they rely too much on credit data. You holistically look at a customer profile. Maybe you would love to understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep it simple because if I go into the weeds, it may get confusing. What we do in simple words is we are looking at more signals, right? Because every time we interact with a customer, we are walking into that experience, that engagement with the intention of trying our best to help that customer. That means we are trying to look under every rock, every signal we can, not to prevent fraud, but to figure out a way to help that customer. And because we do that, accidentally, we get a lot more signals that we are able to connect the dots across, and that naturally adds value towards risk and fraud prevention and other things.
So you look at everything, right? I think you look at their device signals, you look at their email and phone signals, their PII, synthetic identity, everything. And we know that because we have been part of the journey. One thing though, as we sort of wrap this up, Akshay, is 2026. For 2026, what are your plans? We are very curious in terms of what BEEM has in mind. I know that you have been signing so many big clients. You already mentioned clients like NBC, your partners like Visa. So what is it in for customers and also for your partners, investors, everything? What is in it in 2026? What should we expect from BEEM?
That genuinely you'll be able to earn, save and spend using any asset. And naturally, just by using our card, using our product, your hard-earned money will automatically appreciate, and you will see that at scale.
So when you say any assets, do you want to throw light on what assets are available in BEEM for customers to invest?
So today it's cash-based. What we are adding is stocks, bonds, ETFs, treasury bills, G20 currencies, if there's a specific currency.
People would be able to buy stocks within...
You'll be able to buy, but you don't even have to buy. You direct deposit into BEEM, it will automatically convert it into any of these for you, such that it
you would also
appreciates.
manage, depending on someone's risk appetite.
Our partner will, but we have set the rails for that to happen, basically.
Amazing. In a way, then the story that I think BEEM eventually would offer people ability to invest into multiple assets. So in some ways, if someone wants to invest in stocks or crypto, T-bills, deposits, all of that would be made available.
It will not only be made available, it's automatically integrated. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to know about it. I mean, obviously, if you want, we'll educate you about it. But just by using BEEM, your money is going into appreciating assets, and the more you use it, the more funds are getting secured and are getting into a path where it's growing every single day without you having to take additional steps.
Amazing, Akshay. So now, taking a step back from BEEM, what fintech meetup? What's your experience? Did you get to meet partners, customers? Was it a great experience for you here?
It was a fantastic experience. We have great partners like Sainzi, like Visa and others, and Sardine. Also some of my investors are here, so it's always an opportunity to meet them, always an opportunity to reconnect, share our goals for this year, and then align them, but also meet net new partners who can contribute to it. So as always, FinTech Meetup has been extremely productive for us. I've been in back-to-back meetings today, yesterday, and I will be in tomorrow as well. So excited.
One thing I think people don't know is that because I have known you for 2 years, you work across time zones. The thing is, you meet partners and customers here in the US time zone, but so many key members of your team are in India, and then you work very closely with them. That has allowed you to build such a great company, but also provide value to your customers. We would be rooting for you.
Thank you,
Akshay. So yeah, let's. I don't have anything but cheers to BEEM then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fine. We'll बंद कर